Hello, and thank you once again for tuning in to the 30-day mental diet. Today we are doing day number 18, and day number 18 is titled Learn to Like Yourself. And the subheading says, You can't avoid living with yourself. And as usual, let us go right into the introduction to this lesson and let us see what we're going to learn today in the 30-day mental diet. At some time or another, you reach a point where you must have a certain amount of respect and consideration for yourself. You cannot get away from yourself, as much as you might sometimes like to. If the matter of living is to be an enjoyable experience, the first person to get along with is yourself. The manner in which you regard yourself determines the manner in which you confront the world and the way it reacts to you. You are admonished to like others as you like yourself. Just how well do you like what you are? So this here is a very good introduction to this lesson, Learn to Like Yourself. And at first glance, it would seem that why wouldn't anyone like themselves? But as we move forward in this lesson, we're going to really do some soul searching today and really look into our hearts and see if we really do like ourselves. And it's a lack of love for ourselves is one of the reasons that we have a lot of limitations in our life, and some of the reasons why we hold back in a lot of things in our life. So let's move to the next paragraph and see what Kenna has to say here. Discover some good qualities. Most people seem to have a perverse streak running through them that insists on emphasizing what they are not rather than what they are. They seem to dwell on their shortcomings, deficiencies, faults, and guilts. Remember, what you emphasize in your thinking tends to increase it. So let's stop there for a second. People emphasizing the things about them that they do not like. Sometimes I've heard people say, well, Carl, I'm not that smart. I'm not that talented. I'm not that good looking. This is why I haven't achieved this and that and that. No. Whatever it is that we're affirming over and over will increase in our life. If there is something about yourself, your personality, whatever it is, something about you that you want to change, emphasize the change that you are looking. Do not emphasize and focus on the thing that is bothering you, the thing that you don't like about yourself. But let's move on, same paragraph. You are not perfect, nor could anyone ever hope to be. But there is no reason for you to concentrate on the negative rather than the positive qualities that you possess. And that's exactly what I said. Why are you focusing on your negativities? And I'm going to roll back here and talk to us about something. You know, many a times we have to really think about, there's a word that is used all the time in psychology. It's called self-esteem or self-worth. And a lot of times in our younger years or even in our older years, dramatic things has happened to us in our lives, and it has damaged our self-esteem. Some people may feel, well, I don't deserve blessings from God because of some sin I have done in the past. or some lifestyle that I lived in the past, or just something maybe because I'm not the right race, the right religion, the right color, the right height. Maybe I wasn't born in the right caste. There's so many reasons why you can reflect back at yourself and denigrate yourself and say, you know, I don't deserve God's blessings because of this. I once was speaking to a young lady, and she was a really talented young lady, but with closer observation, she was very successful, but she had this one thing that was bothering her. And when I spoke with her, I didn't ask her this, but it slipped out, and I realized this was something that was bothering her. When she was younger, she had a teenage pregnancy, and I think it was a traumatic time in her life. And even now, she's an adult. She raised a beautiful daughter, and the daughter's doing well, and she's been married and moved on. That impact from back in those days when the shame that she felt has held her back. I know people that has been incarcerated, and because they were incarcerated for some time and they came out of jail, they felt that they were less than in society. And you know, some people have deficiencies. I know someone that had a scar on their face, and because of that, they did not feel like they were beautiful. Whatever we focus on, folks, whatever it is that we focus on increases in our life. So it's important here that we remember that God sees you as perfect. This is one of the big tenets of Christianity, that your sins are forgiven and God will remember them no more. In fact, in the scriptures it says, as far as the east is from the west, so far has God removed your transgressions from you. But I want you to think about this. God has removed your transgressions. In the eyes of God, you are perfect. In the eyes of God, you are his son, his daughter, and he has given you his mind to think. But you are focusing on negative things, on your past, or some defect that you may have on your body, or something that you went through in the past. Cast those things aside. If any man be in Christ, any man receives Christ, the consciousness of Christ, he or she is a new creation. Old things have passed away, and behold, all things have become new. If you are to raise your consciousness, especially during this 30-day mental diet, you must first forgive yourself of anything that you have done in the past, because God has already forgiven you. This is very important for us to move on. Your vision of yourself is what the world is giving back to you. I need you to raise your vision of yourself to the level of God consciousness. And when you raise your vision of yourself, you will find that your world will change around you. Okay, let's go down to the next. I'm reading here from Do Some House Cleaning. It could be a very good idea to examine in which ways you deprecate yourself. You accumulate a lot of notions about what you are as you go through life, which may or may not have a foundation in fact. But whether they do or not, you need to clean house and get rid of those ideas which do not contribute to a good opinion of what you are. Start building a new concept, a new mental picture of that person you should be, a person you would like. Just like I just mentioned, just what I just mentioned. So do some house cleaning. First, you have to do some soul searching and say, and realize, what is it about me, about my personality? What is that weight that is holding me back from reaching a higher consciousness? And when you do that soul searching, the Spirit of God will lead you in to the truth. Sometimes you have to ask other people that loves you, and they might point out something. So, well, you're a good person, but you still dwell on this, and you have this bad habit, and you know that you have to shape this thing. Some of you are ruminating over and over of something you have done in the past, and you feel that God has not forgiven you. God has forgiven you. And God has says, clean out the house. Do some house cleaning. Now change your vision of yourself. See yourself as the person that you want to be. You want to be an engineer. You want to be a doctor. You want to be an actor. You want, even if you just want to be a electrician, a plumber, a teacher, a professor, whatever it is, your vision for yourself. Do not look at your faults. Focus and see yourself possessing and walking in the new vision, and God will do the rest. Let's move down. I'm reading here, be honest. Very few people have the courage to honestly evaluate the opinions they have of themselves. It is something no one likes to face. You may kid yourself by falsely overrating what you are, or more generally, you may have too low of an opinion of yourself. It is a difficult thing to do, but to the best of your ability, you should honestly seek to discover wherein you wrongly estimate your worth. And a lot of times in life, we go through life and other people see great things in us. And they said, you have good potential. You have great potential. You could be a good this or a good that. But because we are holding on to certain vision of ourselves, we don't see the potential that other people see in us. And it's important that we must clean house and recreate the vision, knowing that it is not us that do the work. It is God himself that does the work. Okay, let's go down to the next paragraph. One starting point. You are not a nobody, a lost soul, a worthless individual. These and other similar ideas you may have about yourself are purely figments of your imagination. Discard them and get back to the fundamental fact that life is trying to achieve through you. God has given you his consciousness. He has given you his spirit. And we had said before in the earlier chapters that you are a co-creator with God. And God is trying to create something great with you. Every single person that have come to this realm has a mission from God. When we came here, we forgot, but the Spirit is constantly leading us in the direction. We need to raise the consciousness and know that we have the potential to create anything. Anything. Like Christ has said in his word, the works I do, you also will do, and greater works than these. God is willing and able to do great things through you. But first, you must raise your vision of yourself. Stop deprecating yourself. You might say, well, it's okay for that person because that person is a prince. Or it's okay for Christ because he was the Son of God. And, It's okay for that person because they are rich, and it's okay because they for this person because they're born in this family. No, no. God is able to do anything through you. He is waiting for you to raise your consciousness. He's waiting for you to raise your vision of yourself. Very, very important that you see yourself in a new light. And the minute you start to see yourself in a new light, you will make major changes in your life. Okay, let's go down to look in the mirror. Look in the mirror of your mind and see yourself as a person possessing admirable traits, a likable character. As you maintain this concept and act as though it were true, there is nothing that can prevent its becoming an actuality. So right here, Kinara gives us a blueprint. Gives us a blueprint right here. It says, look into your mind, the mirror of your mind. Okay? So what I want you to do is close your eyes and visualize and see yourself possessing the body that you want. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you want to lose some weight. See yourself with your cut up muscles, or see yourself fitting in that nice dress or that nice bikini. See yourself as the new person. And Kinner says, as you maintain that concept of thought as it were true, you're acting as if you possess this thing now. There is nothing that can prevent it from manifesting in your world. That's the blueprint. But you might say to yourself, well, I have to do this, I have to do that. God is the one that's doing the work. God will direct you. So let's say we're trying to lose weight. God might direct you to the perfect trainer, the perfect exercise, or you know what it is that you need to do to get that perfect body that you're looking for. Maybe it is that you're looking for a certain job, but you don't know how to break into that field. And as you picture yourself in that business, in that field, doing the actual work, serendipitous things will happen. Bridges of incidents here and there. You will meet a person here and bump into someone here that points you into the direction on where you need to go. Let the Spirit lead. Your job is to visualize yourself in possession of the thing that you desire. Okay, we're at the last paragraph. Don't deny yourself. Do not violate God's concept of you by trying to minimize yourself. Come to like what you really are. Learn to live with yourself in joy and happiness. Negative ideas about yourself will diminish and finally disappear as you establish in their place a lofty opinion which expresses the nature of the infinite spirit at the center of your being. So God, I like what's said here, because it says do not violate God's concept of you. So God has a higher vision for you. And by you seeing yourself as a lower caste and as a sinner cast out, God is saying, no, you're my son, you're my daughter, come to me. Imagine if you had a son and a daughter and they were afraid to come to you, and you can freely give that child whatever they need to prosper, but they refuse to come to you because of some shame or something else. Whatever it is, God has a higher vision for you. This is important. And the blueprints is given right here. And one of the things that may help you to raise your consciousness and raise your self-esteem is through affirmation. Because a lot of times we have this little voice in the back of our head that is putting us down. And when we hear that voice, we must use our I am phrase. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am healthy. Whatever the I am statement is, and say it with passion and vigor. That's one of the reasons why I constantly harp. And I said the mental stimulus and the diets. There are so many strong I am statements there. And if one of them jumps off the page to you, take that and put it in your daily affirmations. So anytime that little voice comes to you and tries to put you down, you speak the word. And when you speak the word, you're going to drive that idea straight into your subconscious mind and boot out all the negativity that's coming to your mind. Okay, we're looking at the mental stimulus and we're looking at religion. And it says, he that keepeth his commandments dwelleth in him, and he in him. And hereby we know that he abideth in us by the Spirit which he hath given us. Very, very good lesson today. This lesson is amazingly about self-esteem. We need to raise the vision we have of ourselves. Very, very important. Keep reminding ourselves that we are sons and daughters of the Most High God. Let's read the diet together. Today, I know that the same as every other person, I am a purposeful and creative expression of the activity of life whichever seeks to find greater fulfillment in its creation. I no longer minimize God or life by minimizing myself. Instead, I ever seek to discover and express the nature and qualities of that which created me. I come to love myself because I appreciate the life within me. And I give thanks for this vital, dynamic expression as what I am. I know myself to be a wonderful person, and through this knowing, this is the kind of person I become. As I come to like myself for what I really am, dismissing all derogatory ideas, life takes on new meaning to the degree that I like myself. I am now able to like others. Without conceit or any sense of superiority, but with awe and admiration, I now recognize and accept myself as the fulfillment of a divine idea, an idea of power, beauty, joy, and creativity. I now permit this idea to fully express itself as the wonderful person I am. This was a very good lesson. And if you're struggling with self-esteem issues, I really want you to dive into this diet. Affirm this diet into your subconscious mind. In fact, even better, let's look at the capsule supplement. I now know that regardless of what I may have considered myself to be in the past, at the center of my being, I am a wonderful person. Of an idea in the mind, I am a wonderful expression of an idea in the mind of God. This is what I ever seek to more fully express in all my thoughts and acts. You are a wonderful idea in the mind of God. God sees you as his son and as his daughter. God has given you his spirit and his mind to think. Do not put yourself down, and do not ever let anyone put you down. Anyone tries to put you down, any voice comes in and tells you you're less than, affirm back who you are. I am a child of God, and he loves me in spite of myself. In spite of everything that happened in the past, God loves you. And that's an important thing that you understand. And God has a higher vision for you. I want to thank you for tuning in to the 30-day mental diet. This was a wonderful lesson today. If you like this material, I will ask you to please share the material. You don't know who needs to hear this material, so share it with your friends and relatives. And please give us a thumbs up. We'll love to hear from you in the comment section later on. And any questions, any comments about our ministry is written down below. And I'll see you again tomorrow on the 30-day mental diet.